Tyler Blake was many things: a dedicated single father, a hardworking auto mechanic, and a man whose laughter had grown quieter with time. It had been 3 years since his wife, Hannah, passed away unexpectedly after a short illness, leaving behind not just a grieving husband, but a 6-year-old daughter named Mia who still asked for "mommy" some nights. Tyler had become accustomed to making do, peanut butter and jelly dinners, mismatched socks on school mornings, and the quiet ache of loneliness that came and went like an old wound. But tonight was different. Tonight, Tyler was going on his first date in over 3 years. His best friend, Mark, had finally convinced him to try a blind date after weeks of persuasion and awkward pep talks. "She's not a supermodel, man," Mark had said while changing the oil on a truck. "But she's kind, strong, and a single mom. You'll get each other. Just talk. That's all." Tyler had nearly cancelled 3 times during the day. He ironed the same shirt twice and changed his cologne at least 4 times. Mia, now 9, had giggled seeing her father nervously brushing his hair again and again. "You look weird, Daddy," she had teased. "Are you going to marry this lady?" He had laughed, brushing it off with a playful, "Only if she likes pizza as much as I do." And now, here he was. Standing in the hallway of his small but cozy house, hands clammy, heart racing, waiting for the doorbell that would either mark the beginning of something new or another awkward chapter in his widowed life. When the doorbell finally rang, he hesitated before opening it. But nothing could have prepared him for what came next. The woman standing on his porch was dressed simply: jeans, a soft sweater, and her hair pulled back. She looked around his age, with tired but kind eyes that seemed to have seen both joy and hardship. Her smile was gentle but cautious. "Hi, I'm Emma," she said softly. "You must be Tyler." He nodded, caught off guard by her presence. But before he could welcome her inside, she leaned in slightly and whispered, almost apologetically. "My kids are in the car. I didn't know if it would be okay to bring them." Tyler froze. It wasn't the whisper that stunned him, it was the vulnerability behind it. The unspoken fear of rejection. The weight of a mother who clearly didn't want to impose but had no other option. The eyes that had clearly been told no too many times. For a long second, he said nothing. Then, without a word, he stepped past her, looked out toward the car parked across the street, and saw 2 small faces in the back seat, a boy around 7, and a younger girl no older than 5, both strapped in and peering curiously toward the house. He turned back to Emma and smiled. "Well, what kind of guy lets guests wait in the car?" he said, his voice warm. "Come on. Bring them in. We've got leftover pizza and the world's most judgmental goldfish." Emma blinked in surprise, her eyes shimmering slightly. "Are you sure? I can call a sitter in." "Emma," Tyler interrupted gently, "you and I both know sitters don't fall from the sky when you need them. Please. Let's just have a real night, as real people. Kids and all." Her shoulders dropped with relief, and for the first time, she smiled like she meant it. Within minutes, the small house was filled with the noise of children, laughter, footsteps, the sound of toys being shared and snacks being negotiated. Mia hit it off with Emma's daughter, Lily, over their shared obsession with unicorns, while Ethan, the older boy, cautiously hovered near Tyler, eventually asking if he liked trucks. "Love them," Tyler grinned, pulling out his phone to show a photo of the Mustang he was rebuilding. Over the next hour, what was meant to be a quiet adult dinner turned into a makeshift family game night. Board games were pulled out, Tyler burned the garlic bread, and everyone laughed when Lily accidentally spilled juice on the couch. But somewhere between jokes and gentle glances, Tyler and Emma began to talk, really talk. About loss. About trying to be strong for your kids when you're breaking inside. About not feeling like enough. About hope. Emma shared that her ex-husband had left shortly after Lily was born, overwhelmed by responsibility and unready for commitment. She had been raising the kids alone ever since, juggling 2 jobs and barely making ends meet. It's not easy, she admitted. But they're my everything. I didn't want to scare you off. Most guys bolt when they find out I come as a package deal. Tyler looked at her, steady and kind. I don't scare easy, he replied. The night stretched on like a warm blanket. As the children dozed off, Emma helped Tyler clean the dishes, both of them stealing glances and smiling more than they had in months, maybe years. At the doorway, when it was time to leave, Emma hesitated. This wasn't what I expected, she said, her voice low. It was better. Me too, Tyler said. Maybe next time we plan for all 5 of us from the start. Her eyes lit up with something gentle and uncertain, the beginnings of trust. Over the weeks that followed, something unexpected blossomed. They began to meet often, sometimes for coffee, sometimes to watch their kids play together, sometimes just to sit on the porch and share silence. But life, as always, had its own trials. One afternoon, Emma called Tyler in a panic. Ethan had been hospitalized with severe asthma and she couldn't afford the full treatment. Insurance covered part of it, but the rest, she didn't have. I'm so sorry, she sobbed over the phone. I didn't know who else to call. I hate asking you. I hate needing. Emma, Tyler interrupted gently, you don't have to ask. I'll be there. He was at the hospital within the hour. Not just with money, but with snacks for the kids, blankets, and a hand to hold. That night, as Emma cried in his arms in the sterile hospital corridor, she whispered, I don't know what I did to deserve this kindness. And he whispered back, we all deserve a little kindness. Especially the strong ones who pretend they don't need it. Months passed. Seasons changed. The two families became one without even realizing when or how it happened. One Sunday afternoon, while the kids played in the backyard and the barbecue sizzled, Emma found a small box on the porch swing. Inside was a delicate bracelet with 4 tiny charms, a heart, a wrench, a unicorn, and a little book. Beneath it, a note in Tyler's handwriting. To the woman who made my lonely house a home again, not just for me, but for my daughter. Let's make this chaos permanent. Will you be our forever? Emma looked up, teary-eyed, to find Tyler on one knee, Mia holding a hand-drawn sign that read, Say yes, Miss Emma. Sometimes, love doesn't come riding on a white horse. Sometimes, it arrives at your doorstep with juice boxes, tired eyes, and an apology for bringing the kids along. But in that imperfection lies the most beautiful kind of love, real, raw, and rooted in understanding. Tyler and Emma didn't find a fairy tale. They found something better, a second chance at happiness, a home full of noisy mornings and sleepy goodnights, and the kind of love that grows not despite the mess, but because of it. And they never looked back.